Hi Cancer, thanks for joining me for your December 2017 forecast for the month. I'm shuffling the new Palladini Tarot by David Palladini, and there's a lot going on this month. I just wanted to let you know that if you'd like to book with me, I'm running a special, and it's similar to October's special. If you purchase a 60 to 90 minute Astro Tarot session with me by the 24th of November, you'll receive 10 free minutes of a reading to either apply to the end of that session or to book with me and use before the remainder of the year. So that's something to consider. And I wanted to thank you also for subscribing to this channel and for your likes and your support and your donations. I appreciate it very much. Let's get to our forecast. On the 1st of December, Venus, our planet of love and harmony, enters the sign of Sagittarius, and this is a beautiful energy for your 6th house of health and well-being. So this is a smoothing over of any ailment. There's a harmonious energy to your regimen, your schedule, your work routine, your diet, and actually how the body, I know the body is the 1st house, but this is an energy across the wheel that impacts the health, and it can be how your body is looking and being maintained. So it's a beautiful placement for you, Cancer. On the 3rd of December, we begin our Mercury retrograde through the 22nd, and Mercury slows down and retrogrades at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, back through 11 degrees of Sagittarius in this 6th house. So I feel like you are tending to the details of your health routine and your maintenance, the maintenance of your body, the maintenance of your job, and even the maintenance and well-being of your pets, because the 6th house is the pet. And I feel like for those of you who have animals, they are also included in this assessment. I don't think anyone makes it out unscathed here. There's a thorough review of Mercury in the 6th house. And he tends to govern all of those details because he rules Virgo and Gemini, and this is the sector on the solar wheel that Virgo would tend to. So he loves analyzing, and not the planet itself, but the energy that this planet contains is one of thorough analyzation, going over details, information, all of the data. So you might be investigating what diet is best for you, and what routine works for you, as well as the pets. And this retrograde crosses over Saturn as he remains in this sector for the last few days of December. And there is a final lesson here, so please use caution when implementing new exercise routines or practices. Just use caution. It's time for them to start, but you don't want to push too hard. You just want to be light and kind to your body and self, because there is a final lesson when Mercury retrogrades over Saturn here, who's been here for 3 years. And I don't want one of those lessons to be, I broke my finger lifting that dumbbell. I think you need to just keep your wits about you, but go slow when you start this routine. You can't lose 100 pounds in a week, so just keep your goal of 1 pound a week in mind, something reasonable. That's what this is, reasonable. Be reasonable with this energy. Saturn here, Mercury crossing over it. The same day on the 3rd, we have our full moon at 11 degrees of Gemini. I don't mind this at all for you, Cancer. This is hitting you in a place where it doesn't affect you in a negative way. A full moon in the 12th house is complete closure and a release of a bad habit, of what no longer serves your best interest. It's also a great psychic placement and great for dreams. When our 12th house is impacted, that's when people usually say, wow, I had the craziest dream last night, or I remember my dream in full detail. The full moon is the awareness in the sector that governs dreams, premonitions, rest, peace, closure. Sorry for that dog barking. He thinks he's in the forecast. who let the dogs out? Full moon in the 12th is an ending, and a true ending, because this is the last sector of the wheel. There's only 12 hands on the clock, 12 months of the year, 12 pieces of the astrological pie. This is a full closure, and they're all there for a reason. It's all the same kind of guideline that we're living under. And the chart is where it all begins, with the 12 aspects, 12 houses, 12 sectors. You're going through tying up a nice little ribbon here of closure, and it'll apply very differently to all cancers. But you can put something to bed now. You're putting something to rest, and it could even be just how you are thinking about something, because of the 12th house governing the mind, the subconscious mind, the mind that you use when you go into REM sleep. This is a deep habitual pattern that you could have subconsciously that you're working on releasing. And this would also be great for just releasing simple habits and patterns that aren't good for you, like, maybe smoking or participating in something that isn't the best choice for yourself. No judgment here, but just you know what you do. I don't have to tell you. It's positive, though. You can release something that's not serving your best interest, and I think around the time of this full moon, it's effortless to do. So it is important to see how the astrology works for you, because sometimes it's easier to quit habits than it would be at other times. Now is the time for release for Cancer. On the 9th of December, Mars enters Scorpio, and this I like. This is energy and stamina in the 5th house of true love and dating and romance and children, fertility. This is creative endeavors and entrepreneurial projects that are taking off because Mars is stimulating this area. This is also a very physical placement, and Mars in the 5th could see you being physical with your children, taking them to sports and participating in some kind of coaching is what I'm getting, or physical activities with the children is highlighted a lot. And the endurance and stamina to actually go through with all of that is what Mars will do. It's also a very high pregnancy fertility time for Cancer when Mars is in the 5th house. On the 18th, the new moon at 26 degrees of Sagittarius, again in the 6th house. So this is a lot of health. This is a regimen of daily activity that needs to be sorted through and implemented around the time of the new moon would be great. To start a new routine when the moon is new in a sector of health would give you the push to finish this program that you've instilled upon yourself. The 19th, Saturn moves into Capricorn for 3 years. So he's leaving Sagittarius, he's leaving your health sector where he has helped you, and he's entering into your marriage sector. So what this means is it's not as negative as it might sound, because Saturn is limiting and restricting. But Saturn wants to plant roots, wants to really go deep. It's a very, what's the right word? Deep-rooted planet. Lessons learned is what Saturn is. And in the marriage sector, I feel like there's a commitment. That's the word. So you're committed to this partnership, and there's wanting to plant roots together and take it seriously. Saturn is very serious energy. So this is all in the marriage sector, and Saturn is also home when he's in Capricorn. He rules that planet, or he rules that zodiac sign, so he's comfortable here. And your significant other and relationship with them could also feel comfortable. But there are lessons here as well. So you'll have that under the microscope for 3 years. This is also the same way for business partnerships. If you're not married, it could apply to who you do business with and who you are committed to in business. If you're looking to be married, this could also help you because you're not going to get lighthearted potential suitors thrown your way. Saturn is serious, so you're going to be taking this seriously. And I don't think you'll be just allowing anyone to come into your life. This is a very discerning energy in the 7th house of soulmates. So you're going to be given true options, and if you're not, you will turn them away very quickly. So quickly that they're not even really options. The sun enters here as well on the 21st. And on the 25th, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you if you celebrate Christmas. On the 25th, Venus enters here as well. So Venus in the soulmate sector conjunct the sun and Saturn and Pluto. Very intense energy. It is the year that Cancer is figuring out who they're meant to be with. And this could last 3 years. It's not just the year because of Saturn here. It's the month because of these 3 or 4 planets here, but Saturn will be here for 3 years. So this is a process. It doesn't just start on the 19th and happen by the end of the month. This is an undertaking, okay? We have a full moon in Cancer. Your full moon is on the 1st of January. We start 2018 on a full moon at 11 degrees of Cancer in your 1st house. So you are not bringing in the old into 2018. Cancer is putting to rest things that don't agree with your body is what I'm getting. It could even apply to foods and diets. Things that just, resolutions. I think Cancer is going to be making the most New Year's resolutions when you have the full moon in your sign. So let's see what comes up for you in the cards. And if you'd like to read with me, I read all through the week at audreyalison.com. You can select your desired reading length, and I will get back to you in an email to set it up. Cancer and Cancer rising. Here are your cards for December. Now, don't freak out because this card, the Devil, has come up first in 4 readings, and here's why. It's the card of Saturn. It's exactly the thing that I've been talking about. The word Satan comes from Saturn. It's limitation. It's what you are chained to. It's what you are bound to and enslaved to. It's not some literal dude that lives in a dungeon. It's not that. It's what are your oppressive vices? What is your habit that you can't break from the chains? And since Saturn is making a transit, and he doesn't transit but once every 3 years, this card has come up. And check out the other videos. Every reading that I've done in the last 4 readings has started with this card, the Devil. So there's no coincidence there. I don't want anyone freaking out. And I won't be answering any comments that have anything to do with Satan and all this other shit. So just don't worry about it. It's restriction. It's limiting. It's you needing to figure out what you're breaking away from. And with Saturn, it's in this marriage sector, okay? It's in the soulmate stuff. 6 of Coins, shared resources, your money, your spouse's money, or your investors, where your money is, who is adding to your savings. And the 6 of Coins has to do with preparing your well-being in terms of work, 6th house, where all of this energy is, Venus, the Mercury retrograde, the new moon, in the 6th house of health and work and routine. 6 of Pentacles could see you trying to assess and evaluate how much you're making, where your money's going, who's investing in you and work. And maybe that might be an area where some Cancerians are feeling restricted, which is why that other card came up. 5 of Rods. Here's some competition. Some bickering and fighting too. This is a little bit of aggressive energy, or agitated, I should say. Agitated energy. And you could be receiving this in the 5th house of creativity if you have some creative projects that a lot of people are also doing. The Mars, oh, thank you. Mars in the 5th house, that agitated, aggro energy in the 5th house of creativity. So yes, Cancer has competition. And you know what? Most healthy businesses have competition. So let's see what else is here. Page of Swords. It's okay to be a competitor, but don't verbally harass or suggest other people. You know what other people need to do in their business. The Page of Swords is a message, is a messenger. The pages bring in the news and information, but this is a harsh card. It's an abrupt delivery of news. And with Mercury retrograde, which is communications, like the swords are in the tarot, rethink what you're about to say in terms of work, in terms of relationships, creative endeavors. Don't just say everything that comes into your head. I know it's hard. Trust me, I am not any different. It's hard to not express yourself sometimes, but rethink as much as you can, or you might have some apologies to extend, is what I'm getting. And make sure you are fair with yourself. Be fair with yourself. You don't have to judge yourself. Oh no, I'm sorry. You don't have to judge everyone else as harshly as you judge yourself. Wow. So yes, we are our own harshest critics, is what I'm hearing. But that doesn't mean everyone else should be subject to the harsh critique. So something to consider. And again, please don't worry about what the intro card was. I do think it's the theme of the month. We are getting prepared for a transit that doesn't happen very often, and it is with the planet that this card represents in the tarot. So it's as simple as that. Okay? I'm wishing you luck and a beautiful, happy holiday, Cancer. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.